Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today we're ooh-ee-ooh-ah-ing our way into a game between Vivi playing as the Blue Incas and MbL playing as the Red Italians. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to go up to Feudal as fast as possible, let's take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today's. Now the Incas are what I consider the quintessential counter-civilization. Is your opponent going cavalry? In that case, build the first unique unit of the Incas, the Kamayuk, a ranged infantry unit that carries a very long spear and comes with a massive attack bonus against cavalry. Now, is your opponent going infantry? Then you can rely on the other unique unit of the Incas, the Slinger. This is an archer unit that comes with another, you guessed it, big attack bonus against infantry. Now, if your opponent is going archers, you can rely on the Incan skirmishers, which, by the way, not only come with extra line of sight and all archery range blacksmith and university upgrades, but they can be upgraded even more to have no minimum range, which takes away one of the biggest weaknesses of the skirmishers. Now, to make the Incan army even tankier on the field of battle, Incas can upgrade their Kamayuks, their Slingers, and their Eagle Warriors to get extra armor. Now, in order to help you build a big, juicy military-industrial complex, the Incas do start the game with a free llama, which doesn't sound like much, but it does give you an extra unit to explore the map with, after which you can slaughter it and eat it for 100 free food. And their buildings cost 15% less stone. Their houses support 10 population space instead of the usual 5, which frees up a lot of wood in the early stages of the game, and their villagers are harder to raid because starting in castle, they benefit from infantry blacksmith upgrades, and BT dubs, the Incas get all infantry blacksmith upgrades, as you can see in the top right of your screen. Now, opposing Vivi as the Blue Incas, we have MbL as the Red Italians, a quintessential cost-cutting civilization. Their university technologies are 33% cheaper, advancing to the next stage is 15% cheaper, and all of their gunpowder units come in at 20% cheaper. Now, using all the saved resources, the Italians can field 2 unique units of their own. The first is the Genoese crossbow, an overall decent foot archer with a good attack bonus against cavalry. The second is the Condottiero, a quick-moving, tanky infantry unit with not only a massive attack boost against gunpowder units, but also added bonus armor against gunpowder units. Now, to make their army even tankier on the field of battle, all Italian foot archers except for skirmishers and their Condottieri can be upgraded to get extra armor, and starting in Imperial Age, Condottieri can be trained from the barracks of the player, much like the Goths have the Anarchy upgrade where you can train the Huskarls out of barracks. The Italians have the same thing, except the Italians have the advantage of not having to research an actual technology. It just happens automatically for free the second they hit Imperial. So overall, on paper, in a very broad, general sense of the term, we've got a civilization with 2 unique units facing off against a civilization with 2 unique units. We've got a civilization whose unique units are essentially counter units to cavalry and to crossbows, against a civilization whose 2 unique units are essentially counter units against cavalry, and I shouldn't say against cavalry and crossbows, cavalry and gunpowder, I meant. Against the Incas, whose 2 unique units are counters to cavalry and infantry, we also have 2 civilizations with a very impressive, very good economic bonuses. The only issue is for MbL. His units counter units that are not available to the Incas. The Incas, no stable units whatsoever. The Incas, no gunpowder units whatsoever. So the Condottieri, the Genoese crossbowmen, although we may still see them, are not living up to their full possible potential against the civilization like the Incas. That being said, as always, the civilizational part of the game, the description of bonuses and features and potential unique upgrades and whatnot, always very, very general and broad. The players themselves will dictate how they want to use the civilizations, what units they want to go for. For example, our Red Italian might want to go Cavaliers. Never know, might want to go Champions, might want to go something completely different. Who knows? We leave it up to MbL, we leave it up to Vivi to show us exactly how they intend to use their civilizations to try to beat the hell out of each other on a computer. Hello, wake up, villagers. A little bit of a midday break there for our Incan villagers before they go back to slaughtering these llamas. Now, all the players are both at 22 villagers, neither one heading up to Feudal, neither one with the resources to. Let's take a look at their settlements, see if anyone is in a particularly disadvantageous position. Vivi has already walled off the south of his base using this very narrow wall off. The west, the part facing his opponent, completely open. Primary gold, primary stone, very secure in the back of his base. MbL also walled off the south of his base, the back of his base, but the part of his base facing his opponent completely open. Primary stone, very forward facing, completely off campus. Might do better to try to take a secondary stone. Primary gold, though, nice and secure in the back. So overall, I would give base advantage to here to Vivi, just because, again, primary stone gold, nice and secure in the back. Finally, at the 10-minute mark, both players are heading up to Feudal, both on the back of very similar villager counts. Our Inca at 23 villagers, our Italian about 30 seconds behind him on the back of 2 more villagers. We'll see what the players decide to do once they hit Feudal. For now, a barracks already out for our Italian, a barracks already out for our Incan. And even though we did see some militia roaming around here and there, no damage done by Vivi. MbL, on the other hand, 2 kills already. Did not catch that on screen. Might do a picture-in-picture. We'll see if I can go back and catch that. For now, though, looked like he was about to trap the scout in there with him, instead choosing to just wall him out. And now these Italian militia continuing to circle Vivi, hitting Feudal first, as I said. The question is, what will MbL do once he hits Feudal? Will he upgrade these to men-at-arms? Will he tech switch into something else? Let's see. Let's take a look at the map, by the way, because this is an interesting spawn. Look at this. No barriers, no forests, barely any elevation, a little bit here to the northeast of MbL's base, but this is basically a completely open piece of land between the 2 players. I very rarely see a map spawn like this, where it's just one giant flat piece of land completely open, not even a tree in sight. A few resources scattered around, but to the south, my goodness, is it mountainous? Is it forested? But to the north, where the players are, this is very interesting. So I have some pretty good expectations for this game, just because with an attack path like this, I'm hoping one or even both players starts putting on the aggression almost immediately when they hit Feudal, or if not Feudal, then at least Castle. For now, though, let's take a look at their bases. MbL, archery range, blacksmith, archery range already up, 27 villagers, not building anything except 1 more archer to add to the arsenal that he already has, which is 3 militias and a scout cavalry who one little cold and he's gonna die. Our Incan, on his part, a blacksmith and an archery range, although just 1 to the 2 of the Italian. Army count, 2 archers, a third one somewhere there. He is behind the turret of this building, or the I guess the penthouse suite, the penthouse apartment of this archery range. A 4th one also out, and a 5th one on the way. So Vivi investing significantly into archers. MbL somehow sniffs this out, knows it, building 2 skirmishers of his own. Let's see the engage here. Now we're finally moving out an eagle. Okay. Eagle takes a few skirmisher volleys to the face and immediately runs out. Now remember, these are not Eagle warriors. These are not elite Eagle warriors. These are just basic Eagle scouts. And even though they do come with 2 pierce armor, as you can see there, not exactly the strongest unit in the game. Basically a scout on 2 feet. Vivi circling to the south, trying to avoid this army entirely, has not walled off his berries, whereas MbL, take a look, has already created a pretty substantial wall off here to the south, to the north, basically creating a funnel here where MbL will, Vivi rather, would have to engage into. Vivi doing the same thing, but to the back, not walled off at all. Finally does have a villager. They're producing something, building something to get in the way between the red Italian army and the back of his base. Army supply 14 to 10, 14 to 11 in favor of our Italian, who now brings in these 3 militia. Now remember, once you remove these 3 incredibly weak units, these militias, the army supply is actually identical. Vivi realizing that, moves in, seeing that, knowing that these militias are not really going to accomplish too much, snipes one of the archers for MbL, who dies fertilizing this little oasis of grass and shrubbery. If he's not careful, could lose a second one as well. For his part, Vivi harassing with those archers that were here before, thinking that he can hold the line at home with a few skirmishers. How many? 6 skirmishers against everything that MbL is throwing at him, and he is not wrong. 7 archers, 2 skirmishers against 6 skirmishers and 2 eagles, even though one of the eagles is badly bruised and battered. Where is MbL's scout, by the way? Okay, he's hanging out to the south, having a bit of a smoke break, while the rest of his teammates get attacked and attack into a bunch of other units. These excuse me, these militias are hilarious. These 18 HP, 0 kills. If you watch my channel, you know I harp on about it, that these Dark Age / early to mid Feudal Age armies are not exactly designed to end games. Oh man, taking a bit of our town center fire there. They're more designed, in my opinion, to annoy an opponent, to make a mistake, or to tax their APM, to force them to switch between screens if they know how or don't know how. And nooks like this, which can prove absolutely wonderful in killing villagers, can also prove to be kill boxes, just like we're seeing right now. Another thing I harp on. So 2 very demonstrative lessons here out of MbL. Number 1, a kill zone can become a kill box very easily. So while he was happy, Vivi, to park his archers here and slowly take away the HP of these lumberjacks, man, the second MbL pivoted, he lost his entire army. So be very, very careful when you enter into a nook. This is another example of one. Just be very careful. There's little room to maneuver and no escape if your opponent decides to trap you. Something like this, more completely open, is better suited to your needs sometimes, but sometimes it's fun. Insert yourself here, put them right at the edge of the tree line, and start shelling away at villagers. Lesson number 2, which I was, didn't mean to get so pedantic all of a sudden, but item number 2 on today's meeting agenda: Feudal Age armies weak as shit. Both players going up to castle at roughly the same time, 7 seconds apart. Eagle is going to desperately try to hold the line against these scouts, but now all of Vivi's army should absolutely die. We'll see. The only question is, how many archers will he get of MbL's before he does? MbL not really using the minimum range of the skirmishers here. Does lose a 3rd archer. Beautiful, beautiful moves here by Vivi, taking down 3 archers. How many of us would have had the ability to micro and get rid of 3 archers while we were being attacked? Oh, the eagles are coming. Pippin looks up into the sky, sees 5 eagle scouts. In 20 seconds, they will be eagle warriors. Ark of the Covenant being lowered into its secret chamber, so we might get to see some Incan monks. Let's keep an eye out for those. Meanwhile, 2 archers on their merry way down west. They see the crossbows, they run away. They see the knights, they try to run away faster. Unfortunately, no function in Age of Empires 2 to increase the speed of your unit, as it's mid-March, unless you research an upgrade to do that. No such upgrade available. Okay. I'm confused here as to whether Vivi should take this fight or not. 7 eagles, maybe wait for the next 4 to produce. Pierce armor has jumped up to 5. Crossbows attacking on a 7. No discernible bonus against eagles, which means each crossbow bolt that lands from these guys does 2 damage to the eagle, meaning you need 28 shots to one-shot an eagle, and he has 15. So definitely not enough to one-shot the eagle. What might help out here, though, is these knights. 0 upgrades on them, though, so they might need to be a little bit careful here. Personal opinion, Incan eagles are my least favorite. In case anyone wants to buy me an eagle warrior for my birthday. Mayans, in my opinion, my favorite, with the El Dorado 40 extra HP. Aztecs with the Garland Wars +4 attack added to them. These guys just get armor. You know, as I mentioned, the Incas can upgrade their Kamayuks, their Slingers, their Eagle Warriors. I think it's called Fabric Shields. Can definitely add a +1/+2 to their armor, melee and pierce, but I don't know. I like attack upgrades. I like beefier units. as opposed to attack upgrades, defensive upgrades. But my god, 2 monks sniped, 19 crossbows, definitely enough to one-shot monks. Another monk inside. No, never mind, that's the barracks here. Going up to 20 eagles. Should be able with 20 eagles to get rid of this force, but instead Vivi choosing to go after reinforcements. I mean, if this army here from MbL was a little bit smaller, maybe a third smaller, I would say that's not a bad move at all. But you've got 24 units, 25 now, engaged at the front of your base. You're not going to bust in here. Maybe if you attack the palisade, but there's villagers very close by. You are a melee unit. A Kamayuk might be able to bust through there, but not you. Definitely not you if he repairs, which is exactly what he's doing, but maybe not quick enough. Oh, just in time. Oh my god. That being said, MbL is not really pushing into Vivi's base. How many barracks for Vivi right now? Only 3. Maybe needs to get up a few more. And now the Eagles realizing that they are doing absolutely nothing. They are down 250 HP. A third of their HP is gone, are now heading home. Let's see if he decides to sandwich and absolutely wipe out this force by MbL. That is, looks like he's exactly what he's doing. Even a Scorpion joining in here. MbL, though, knows what's up. He sees the Eagles leaving his base. He knows exactly where they're going, what they're trying to do. Let's see if he falls for it. Eagles, the faster unit between them and the crossbows. Now the question is, how many crossbows do you need to one-shot these Eagles with their absolute terrible HP? It's down even more now, but a few fresh recruits. I mean, look at this. It's down 400 HP on the Eagles. That is just absolutely terrible. A second town center did go up in the meantime for our Italian. No second town center for our Incan, who prefers, I guess, to go with a mining camp. Not a bad idea. You cannot place a town center anywhere here. This little tiny, very annoying hill. Here, I guess you could place to the north either side, but opting to go mining camp instead. Does not have the stone and has 0 villagers on stone. Doesn't look like Vivi has any intention of getting any stone anytime soon. Would love to see a castle out of him, but I guess he's going full balls to the wall Eagles. This is the moment he decides, by the way, to get wheelbarrow. Both players feeling very secure on the back of 58, 56 villagers. So very similar villager count, and now the dance has begun. What are we working with here? 36 crossbows, 7 knights, 31 eagles, a mango, and a scorpion. Knights move in on the mangonel, but they're going to run into a nice body block here by the Eagles. Will be able to get that scorpion, I believe. Eagles have to retreat. They can. Oh, and he gets a convert. I did not see the monk. Gets a convert, and now we have our first Incan knight. Eagles have to be careful here not to overextend. Very annoying when you have to deal with... oh, what a beautiful mangonel shot. How many crossbows are left here? 28. But now the knight threat has basically been removed. Only one... No, never mind. There's 2 left here. Where did these guys come from? I thought they were for sure going to die. And now let's see what the situation on the ground looks like. HP very similar. 23 units for red, 16 for blue, including the one knight who is derping out here with the terrible pathing. MbL doing everything he can to make sure these Eagles cannot engage into this. Upgrades on the Eagles. +1, +2. Should be able to decimate these crossbows unless the knight comes in with a clutch save, which is it looks like exactly what's going to happen. Eagles HP absolutely terrible. Crossbows enough to one-shot the... Converted a crossbow with this one monk at the edge of our vision. And now, yeah, I don't know if the Eagles can take this, or maybe not. Maybe they can. The HP on these crossbows is pretty shite, but nope. Look at the deke move. Look at the deking move out of Vivi, but not important. These crossbows get him anyway. Army supply for our blue Inca has been reset to 6, but never ever underestimate a Mesoamerican Civ's ability to just pump out Eagles. 15 once this current production cycle finishes, but 2 archery ranges going up for our red Italian on the back of the 2 he already has. Continuing, I guess, to go ranged, and now we've got a slew of upgrades. Finally, some attack upgrades. Iron casting will get these guys to +2/+2. Bosa will help with the wood collection. otherwise known as lumberjacking, and another barracks. This is the one that was being built before. Yeah, no, it's a new one. 5th barracks. Crossbows have to be careful. Take a look at their HP, down about 150, about 30%. Oh, Eagles have to be careful. Mangonel shots have to be better here out of Vivi, I think. These knights are the real problem. Oh, gets 2 more in exchange for a monk, though. Okay. Oh, misses that as well. Upgrades on the knights now +1-0, so they're still not as good as they should be. Mangonel goes down. No reinforcement Eagles here, but this group to the north, this clump. Oh, man, without these knights, the Eagles should be able to kill absolutely every single crossbow up there. But a convert on the knight gets it. The Eagles yet again having to retreat. The monk to the north will get sniped. But another monk moving forward. Okay, going for the full HP knight. Beautiful move here. Okay, Mangonel gets a pretty damn good shot. Very decentralized field of battle over here. Small clumps of units attacking each other. But now the Mangonel's in trouble. These knights are moving forward and would do well to maybe place a villager next to it. Instead, it does end up dying. Is he building another one? No, he's not. He's going up to 13, 14 Eagles. Army supply, though, he is down 2/3. Situation starting to look very drastic for our Inca, who puts down a marketplace at the moment. No second town center, which means he is not 20 villagers behind our Italian, who is now supply blocked at 120, housed at 120, while Vivi struggles to get to 80. 50% more population for our Italian. The Eagles have landed, but the Eagles also have shat the bed so far. These knights proving to be the superior unit in the quantity that they are being produced. Oh no, and now he's adding bloodlines, so their HP is going to jump by 20%. Our Incan is in real trouble here. Eagle's not exactly the cheapest in terms of gold count, and now he's been shooed away from this gold pile. Does he have is he mining golds anywhere? Yeah, okay, so he's got a bit of a mining situation going to the south, but now, oh man, I was worried about him being busted in through the bottom right. Instead, MbL just waltzes right in. A pretty damn big army here. Oh, beautiful, beautiful exit by the Mangonel from the siege workshop. Softens up these crossbows. Now their HP is down significantly. One more slew of eagle warriors should be able. One more, what do you call a group of eagles? A band of eagles? What do you call a group of eagles? I don't know. A school of fish? A school of eagles? Surrounding red over here. But again, the knights just proving to be a big freaking problem here for these eagles. Although now 12 on the way. Army supply is now only double, not triple. So very slowly, Blue is making his way back in this. Plus, oh no, I was going to say the villagers are repairing the Mangonels, but unfortunately the villagers get sniped. Okay, the monk is gone. The monk is gone, which means that this Mangonel might have a pretty good time trying to get these crossbows. Oh no. Being repaired, but again, MbL not to be outsmarted, going after the villagers while microing. Oh my goodness, what an insanely good level of micro here. Now the Eagles should be able to kill these crossbows, these reinforcements. Like I said, this is when you want to start attacking reinforcements, not when you have 20-something units in the front of your base with no way to handle them. Okay, Mangonel picks off another unit. 8 kills on this guy. MbL also has to micro 2 different locations, by the way. Still no good upgrades on these knights. The Eagles +2/+2. No player researching any kinds of research technologies or upgrades at the moment. Both players just struggling to beat each other with the units that they can produce. Take a look at the military supply, by the way. 15-10 in favor of our Inca, despite being down. Wow, what is this? 33 villagers? Oh no, but now the Eagles are going to do what they do best. Unfortunately for Vivi, these aren't elite Eagles. So while they do have good pierce armor, it's not as good as the final iteration. Town centers should be able to get rid of these Eagles in due course. A fourth town center going up for our Italian while Vivi is stuck on 2. Oh man, he's down 30 villagers. He's army supply has equalized, but once these eagles die, it's going to be very much in favor of MbL. The big economy. Oh, look at the size of those crossbows. Sometimes it's very comical to me how big. Imagine in real life, I don't think they would be able to lift. You would need to be built like the Rock in order to lift something that big, and having that much pressure building up in its strings. Eagles moving forward, charging right into a bunch of knights, engaging with them for some reason. A bunch of HP being reduced. Look at the knights, barely a scratch on them. My goodness, 120 APM to 55. Eagles attacking on a 9. Knights on an 11. Yeah, I mean, MbL knows exactly how to clog up the works with these knights, which is what he's doing to perfection. Army supply is very similar, but villager count now 36 villagers ahead for our red Italian, who is moving forward. He's got 727 stone, so we know exactly what these villagers are doing and where they're going, but a converted knight manages to stop them. The aggressive castle that no doubt would have probably been placed somewhere here and now has to be placed all the way back here, right next to the town center, right next to the gold. We'll see if our Incan can stop the attempt here. He's going after individual villagers. Castle's at what, 43, 44%? More and more villagers coming in, but take a look at what's going on here. What an absolute massacre. Blue not having enough to bust his way in through this army, not having enough to kill the villagers. He should have just picked one of the targets and gone for it, as opposed to trying to split up his forces. And now the Italian castle is up. Genoese crossbows. I told you they're experts at killing cavalry. So of course he builds it against a civilization that absolutely has no cavalry, unless you count converted units. 23 army supply to 9, 129 villagers to 100. I guess the villager lead is shrinking down from 36 to 30. But what is red building here? Infrastructure, a tower as well, a tower over here. And guys, we're not talking about outposts. These are towers designed to absolutely stop the taking of the gold over here. Oh no, and now our Incan is in trouble. Once this gold is done, I think that's the last gold patch that he has available to him. Oh, he must see this tower going up, right? Yeah, he sees the tower going up. Swarm the villager, swarm the villager. But he can't. He's busy at home defending his army, his base with his massive 5 army supply. Very unfortunate turn of events here for our Incan. Yeah, not surprised. Let me guess, the tower went up right now? That's, yeah, okay. Oh no, a tower and light cav. Not exactly the greatest upgrades on them, but MbL choosing to go the quantity over quality route. Take a look at the minimap. Take a look at how our Incan is surrounded. He's been knocked off this gold, which by the way doesn't have that much gold in it. He's been knocked off this gold with a few light cav and a tower. He's got knights in the back of his base about to ransack. This is what I was talking about earlier. I wanted him to get up a castle so that at least he can have some kind of static defense he could turn to in the event of a raid like this. So he's being attacked to the north. He's being attacked to the south. He's being attacked in the back of his base. He's being pressured in the front of his base. His infrastructure is now crumbling. No wonder Vivi decided to tap out and GG. I mean, what is this? 2 villagers just hanging out in the bottom of the map? Meanwhile, MbL taking this gold, no doubt will take this last patch as well. Still has some stone to mine in the back of his base. How's his gold? No, he still has some gold here in the back. Okay. Some gold being 13. But overall, despite the fact that Vivi has over 100 villagers, he just does not have the army supply. And being kicked off the gold over here. How much gold is this? 2386, so plus the 600 or so here. That's about 3,000 gold that just got lamed by MbL. 3,000 gold could build a good amount of eagles, especially when you already have 700 gold, 900 food in the bank. So Vivi with the better resources ends up succumbing to the player with absolute terrible resources. 14 gold, 101 food, but that's not the full picture. The reason he has terrible resources because he's building 5 knights, a light cav, Genoese crossbow, crossbows, and skirmishers, and also no doubt trying to get as much stone as possible with 10 stone miners so that he can build another castle. So MbL living bare bones so that he can continue building the biggest army he can. 34 army supply to 4. That is 8.5 times the army supply. I mean, we see this with our caster's God's View. Vivi must have suspected it. But like I said, it's probably this. It's probably this. It's probably this. And it's probably this. Even though, again, you are, as I say a million times in my casts, ranged units just do not destroy buildings. Archers don't destroy buildings. So MbL here for sure would have followed up. I see hammers in their hands. For sure would have followed up with a siege workshop or another stable or something that could produce a unit that would absolutely devastate these structures. More villagers hidden here off to the side. Did he see this? Yeah, he saw the stables here. He saw the tower, and he's building a barracks here. This villager is on her way to dying. Can't even click on her. She's already dead. She just doesn't know it yet. Wow, what a fun game here. 110 crossbows, 145 eagles. APM for Vivi a bit more relaxed. For MbL, 192, approaching Hera levels. Let's take a look at the, I don't know, I click technology. No relics for either player. Resource count, look at MbL, 10,000 resources, 9,500 resources ahead. Huge wood advantage, huge food advantage. Gold, very similar. Vivi mining 1,000 more. And 1664 to 930 basically means MbL has an extra castle over his opponent. Let's look at kill count. Villager kill count almost identical. Kill count's nice and healthy. 196 kills by our Italian, 162 by Vivi. Look, I loved the Eagle play. By the way, anytime a player goes pedal to the metal Eagle Warriors, I absolutely love it. I think it's a fantastic unit. I just wish Vivi here had gotten a castle up, and this might be a little bit too late here. 21 villagers on one stone pile with only one mining camp. At least build a second mining camp here, which no doubt he would have done before he saw 4 knights rushing to absolutely massacre this. Just absolutely going to massacre this. So this is 21 dead villagers in the next, what, minute and a half. And all his resources have been lamed. So Vivi realizing that he can no longer put on any kind of even defensive actions, because he is going to be broke very soon. Again, despite having 900 food, 700 gold, his pro sense, and these players very high elos, a very amazingly developed pro sense. Oh, he also got knocked off of this stone. Realizes that he, forget offensive capabilities, he has no defensive capabilities at the moment. And his army is 8 times smaller than his opponent. Vivi deciding to tap out. MbL getting the big W. But GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.